overcome these fears yet, but I am working every day to confront and work through my internalized ableism towards myself. Please let me know if you have any more questions. Thanks. 4 annoying things I'm told as a disabled person. Number 1, if you can walk, then you don't need a wheelchair. All disabilities are complex and different. I use multiple mobility aids in my everyday life in order to maximize my independence. I use my wheelchair because I can't walk long distances. Please don't tell disabled people what they do or don't need, especially if you're not familiar with their specific situation. Number 2, wow, you're short. I do in fact know that I was born with dwarfism. Thank you for your observation, but this does get very annoying when you hear it every single time you go out in public. Number 3, you're just posting videos of your service dog and using him for money. First of all, I had to spend thousands of dollars in order to even get Champ. Second of all, I started posting videos to educate others on what it's like to live with a disability. The money that I'm being paid from these videos, while I'm grateful for it, is honestly not enough to live off of. Hopefully it will be soon though. Number 4, that dog's so big you could put a saddle on and ride him. I know Champ is very big, and this was funny at first, but after hearing it literally every time I go out in public for 4 years, it starts to get a little old. Thanks for watching. This comment says, you need a service dog because you have 2 feet on 1 leg? Honey, please. Some people have no arms and they don't need a service dog. Let me start off by saying that I do not have 2 feet on 1 leg. It just looks like I do because of my prosthesis. But my prosthesis is not the reason I have my service dog Champ. I know I don't need to explain myself or my disabilities to anybody. However, I think this is a great opportunity to not only educate this person but others about disabilities, service dogs, and why some disabled people choose to use service dogs as mobility aids. I have a type of dwarfism that affects everything in my body. I have had a total of 43 surgeries because of my dwarfism. With that comes chronic pain. When I'm having a bad pain day, it's difficult for me to walk long distances, so sometimes I use a manual wheelchair, which Champ can help pull if my arms are too tired to push myself. It's also hard for me to bend down to get things off the ground, so Champ can help with that as well. Along with balance support, Champ can do lots of other things like open and close doors, press automatic door buttons, and many other things that help me to be independent. You can't compare other people's disabilities. That is like comparing apples to oranges. How my disability affects me may not be how somebody else's disability affects them, and we might have to use different mobility aids because of that. Please be kind to everyone, including people that you see posting hate comments I get on social media as a service dog can. You can't even see it. Anyways, well, I received the strangest gift I've ever received yesterday, and I have no idea what to do with it. So I have a best friend. A lot of you have asked to see how I walk without my prosthesis, and although this is one of the weirdest requests I've ever gotten, I'm gonna do it for some reason. A lot of people are shocked that I can walk without my prosthesis, and it is true. I don't wear my prosthesis when I'm around the house or at friends' houses or anywhere else that I'm comfortable. I also don't wear my prosthesis when I'm driving a car because my ankle in my prosthesis doesn't bend, so I wouldn't be able to press the gas or the brake. I am wearing a croc on this foot just because I don't want to show my toes on camera because that's weird, but this is how I walk from this angle, and this is how I walk from this angle. Not super interesting, but I guess it is to some people. This is how I stand, so I just walk on my tippy toes on this foot, and then a flat foot on this foot. Also, I get a lot of questions about whether it hurts to walk without my prosthesis on. No, it doesn't. I wasn't born with my prosthesis, so I learned to walk without it, and then I got my first prosthesis when I was about 8. I get a lot of questions asking if my leg or my hip ever hurts. The answer is yes, I have chronic pain, so I'm in pain all of the time. All day, every day, I am in some amount of pain. So sometimes that's my back, sometimes that's my joints, sometimes it's my knees, and sometimes it's my hip. I also do have pain if I haven't worn my prosthesis for a little bit, just because I'm putting more weight on the joints themselves in my right leg, and my weight also isn't balanced, so it's just a lot more weight bearing than my body is used to, because usually I'm in my prosthesis for like 8 to 12. I'm putting half of my weight. 5 things I hate being told as a disabled person. Number 1, I'm so glad to see you out and about. Thanks, Linda, but I'm just running errands like every other human being. Number 2, if I was disabled, I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself. Literally no person ever wants to hear this. The disability community is the only marginalized group you can join at literally any time in your life. And while I agree that it's not always fun to be disabled, my life is just as valuable and is as full of love and joy as yours is. Number 3, you're so inspirational. Why am I inspirational for getting out of bed every morning? I'm simply just living my life. And yes, that may look a little bit different from how you live yours, but that doesn't make me inspirational. Number 4, you're not disabled, you're handy-capable or differently abled, etc. Disabled is not a bad word. There are some things that I can't and will never be able to do, and that's okay. Number 5, I think I know how to cure you. If there was a cure for my disabilities, the dozens of medical professionals in my life would have told me by now. Yoga is not going to work. Neither is going vegan. And essential oils won't work either. 5 things I hate being told as a disabled person. Number 1, I'm so glad to see you out and about. Thanks, Linda, but I'm just... 6 questions I hate being asked as a disabled person. Number 1, what happened? Nothing happened. I was born this way. But even if something did happen to cause my disability, it would probably be traumatic, and I probably wouldn't want to trauma dump on a stranger. Number 2, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. Again, I was born this way. Number 3, oh, my neighbor's disabled. Do you know them? There are literally millions of disabled people in the world, and surprisingly, I don't know all of them, so no. Number 4, you have a boyfriend? How? The same way any other 21-year-old couple meets. We met through a dating app. Number 5, can you and your boyfriend be intimate? Would you go up to any random non-disabled stranger and ask them about their intimacy with their partner? I hope the answer is no, because if you do, that's just weird. So why ask a disabled stranger the same question in public? I understand people are curious, but some things can be a Google search. Number 6, did your mom drive you here? Seeing as my mom lives 1,000 miles away from me, no, she did not drive me to the grocery store today. Again, would you ask this question to a non-disabled stranger? Probably not, so don't ask disabled people these things. 6 questions. I get a lot of comments telling me how good Champ is about his shoes, and because I just got him a new set of shoes, I wanted to show y'all that he's just like any other dog. Disclaimer, I know that these shoes are too big. We were trying this size out, but they turned out to be a little bit too big, so we're going to switch them out for a smaller size later on. This was Champ's first time trying out these shoes, and this is how he was walking with them. Just like any other dog when you put something on their feet. However, you can see that he's excited about these shoes. This is because of the way I train him with new gear. I make sure that his training that involves new gear is very intentional. A lot of you... Did you know that... My boyfriend and I went to Sherman Oaks Castle Park for a mini golf date night and decided to do an accessibility rating for you. There were no accessible door buttons at any of the entrances. However, there was this ramp. A lot of you are very curious about what my service dog Champ's days off from work look like. And while I don't have a very... Here are some inaccessibilities that I face.
Hi, I'm Champ. I'm a mobility service dog, and this is a day in my life. We start off the day with...
Here are some tasks that my mobility service dog Champ is able to do for me. He has 2 handles on his harness. Here are some do's and don'ts of service dogs for humans. Don't go up and pet service dogs without asking the handler first. And be prepared that the handler might say that you can't pet the dog. Don't distract the dog by calling them or talking to them instead of the handler. Don't go up to a service dog team in public and tell them what gear you think they should be using unless they've asked for your specific opinion. Don't try to feed the service dog. Don't take pictures of a service dog team without their consent. Don't tell the handler that they don't look disabled enough to have a service dog. Don't question why the handler isn't using another mobility aid. Don't give the handler advice on other mobility aids they should try instead of a service dog. Don't expect the handler to answer every single question you have about their service dog. Here are some things that you can and should do around service dog teams. Admire the service dog from afar. I get it. My dog is very large and very cute. So if you want to look at him from across the coffee shop, that's perfectly okay. Just please make sure that you are not interfering with his ability to do his job. You can also compliment the handler on the patches that the service dog is wearing on their vest, or any other gear that they are using that you think is cool. You can educate the person you're with and or your children.
Hi, I'm Champ. I'm a mobility service...
If you ask for a service dog's name out in public, the handler might give you a fake one. Here's why. 99% of the time when a stranger out in public asks for my service dog's name and I tell them that his name is Champ, they will automatically try to say hi or call him using his name, both of which can distract him from his job, which can ultimately be dangerous for me. By giving the stranger a fake name, it ensures that Champ won't respond to it, which means that he won't be distracted even if the stranger is trying to distract him. Please remember that service dogs are not there for your entertainment, and while they may be cute, they are there to do a job. Thanks for watching. I've been getting a lot of questions. Don't put service dog gear on your pets. Here's why. Reason number 1. By putting service dog gear on your pet, this creates distrust in real service dog teams. If your dog lashes out in public in any way, people who see the gear will assume that that's how all actual service dogs act. If your dog misbehaves in a business, later on when an actual service dog team comes along, the owners will likely not welcome them because you have tainted our reputation. Reason number 2. If your pet in service dog gear is aggressive towards me and my actual service dog, this presents a danger to us. If my dog is attacked by your dog, this This directly affects me and my independence because he is one of my mobility aids. Reason number 3. A regular pet is unable to handle the pressures of public spaces the way that service animals are able to. This is because the service dog facility that I got, we took my service dog Champ to Disneyland for the first time, and this is how it went. My boyfriend's sister works for Disney. Great question. A lot of people are very curious about whether or not I get to keep Champ after he retires. The answer is yes, I do get to keep him after he retires. So what happens to him after he stops working? He just becomes a normal dog. He's no longer a working dog, so when we go out in public, he's just like any normal dog, and the ADA laws no longer protect him. I think it'll be a little bit before he retires, though. He's only just about to turn 6, and usually service dogs retire between 6 and 8 years old. How do I know when he's ready to retire? He'll tell me. So right now, before I leave the house and I know that I'm going to work him, I always ask him if he wants to work. And he always gets really excited about it. I will know that he's ready to retire when he stops getting as excited about it, or when he starts to slow down while he's working, or, God forbid, if there's ever health problems. If he ever has a serious health problem where the vet says that he can't work anymore, he automatically stops working. My plan is, if he starts to get less excited about working, then I'm going to wean him off of working slowly. Because I know that a sudden shift in routine change from him working to not working all of the Great question. So yes, I do have a foot covering that covers my foot when it gets cold, because it is exposed, and so my family quickly figured out when I first got my first prosthesis that this was going to be a problem. So my grandma, who was an architect, thought of this genius idea, and she called it a toe cozy. So she takes me to Joann's or Marshalls or wherever, and have me pick out my favorite fabric. With that fabric, she would turn it into like this. I don't need them. It doesn't really get cold here. Anyways, yeah, it was just like a slip. Never in a million years did I think so many people would want to watch me put my shoes on. But I get it. It's cool. So let's do it. Okay, so first, this is what it looks like without my actual leg in it. So this is where my leg and my foot goes, and then here is where the extension comes in. So this is just a normal shoe, and then underneath is the prosthetic foot shell and all of the inner parts that actually make this function. This part is made completely out of carbon fiber, so it's pretty light, but all in all it weighs about 3 pounds, which doesn't seem that heavy, but when you're swinging it around every day, it gets pretty heavy. This is it without the actual shoe on it. I do put a sock on it because otherwise the dye from the different shoes that I wear gets on the actual foot, and then when I want to wear heels or sandals or whatever, the foot is like dyed with different color dyes, and it looks terrible in pictures. So I just put this on kind of as a protection so that it looks better when I take pictures with it. So here's the actual prosthetic foot. It looks kind of like any prosthetic foot. Yes, the toes are painted the same color as my actual toes because, hello, that's just what you do. So this metal part is all titanium. That's why this is so heavy. There's a leg to help. This side closest to me, then you can see that the ankle of the prosthesis, press this button and move it all the way back, because heel. So now I'm going to show you guys how I put my prosthesis on every day. So again, I don't use my prosthesis
July 8th, 2011, 29-year-old James Hackemer, a double amputee Army vet.
Hi, I'm James. I'm a double amputee, and this is how I get up the stairs. First, I always make sure I have my gloves on. I personally recommend mechanics gloves. They give you a nice grip and really comfortable. This will tear your hands up. Now, during the corporal, how do you lose your legs?
I lost my legs in a fall.
So I got an interesting leg here. This guy's missing two legs. It's a bilateral. And an arm. Good job. Impressive. Alright, he's back on the other side. And now we're gonna walk fast. Oh yeah.
You want to make it look like that, right?
It's time to update for sure. This one right here is holding like it.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Christoph. I'm from Belgium. I had also an accident 1 year and a half ago. I've been hit by a crane truck when I hit crossing the street. I'm here for doing a bilateral life camp for dream.
It's going to give you a lot of confidence.
Figured out about a
When I was a...
Is it terror? Is it terror?
No, I don't think so. That's the way it is, you know. Everything must come to.
I've been getting a lot of questions just like this one, and I want to address it. First and foremost, I want to say I am not an expert in this, but get ready with me to go.
I know it used to be crazy, messed up, but God, was it fun? I know it used to be wild. Go to shopify.co.uk and easily create a powerful online store fully loaded with all the e-commerce features to run, manage and grow your business. Trusted by millions of businesses from around the world. Whether you're starting or taking your brand to the next level, go to Shopify.
Hey, Darren. Cody, I don't feel like playing this game anymore. Tag it. Whatever, tag it.
walked into the room, just not her usual self, with it being that thing. I remember standing against the glass.
I'm 16, you. Batteries.
Football Space, the must-play game on everyone's wish list, is now available on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch.
We go to each other, but yeah. Yeah, no, you actually don't. What do you think about it? This is your first. Yeah.
Well, we still got to discuss who's going to be the best fit for the band, but you are